So I've had a few people, guys in particular, expressing an interest in knowing which poses to do to increase flexibility around the shoulders. I've noticed, since I've been doing the men's yoga, I noticed that guys in particular can be quite tight around the shoulders. It could just be a natural thing, or can relate to lifting weights or focusing on upper body strength. So these are just a few, it's not a sequence so much as just looking at a few postures that you can include in your home practice, or if you go to the gym, things that you can make sure to do in order to stretch out tight muscles and just to help to encourage more or increased range of motion around the shoulders. Okay, so all that you will need, remember you don't have to do all the exercises, all the postures. If you have a strap, this is a good start, or belt, the yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a judo belt, the karate belt, you know, the belt that ties around, or you can use a dressing gown belt, whatever you have, a tie even. This is just a good initial way to open up the shoulders. So might help first of all to give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, so roll them in one direction. Instantly you start to feel the heat coming to the shoulder area. So a few times in one direction and then a few times in the opposite direction. Okay, just start to feel nice and warm. I like to include this next posture or shoulder exercise whenever we look at shoulders in general in my classes. So we'll take the strap, so I'll do it this way first of all. You take hold of the strap kind of wider than your shoulder width. Take the arms up overhead, actually a little bit closer together to start with. So just a little bit wider than your shoulder width. Taking the arms up and just easing them back a little bit. So if I come from the side view, you'll be able to see better. So taking them up overhead, and you just ease them back, and you'll start to feel a point of resistance. And you just hold here, maybe for a couple of breaths. Maybe you can open up a little bit more on the exhalation, drawing the belly button in, expanding into the chest, into the heart space. And then when you can't go any further, you open it a little bit more. So a little bit wider on the belt, on the strap, comes a little bit deeper. Okay, again, you feel that little point of resistance, hold here, take a couple of breaths. No forcing, no forced movements, just going as deep as the body will allow. Opening a little bit wider again, and then going a little bit deeper. Remember, my hands are separate, so this is not causing any discomfort. You take the grip as wide as you need to. Hold a couple of breaths, same again, opening a little bit wider. And then there'll come a point where you can just take the strap all the way back. Okay, my shoulders feel really warm. I'm going to take them back the other way. You don't need to reduce the grip here, just nice and slowly coming back up and overhead. Okay, remember you can take your time with this. I'm just showing you the movement. So you can take your time, you can hold each point for a few more breaths, particularly if you enjoy it. It's quite a nice way to really kind of warm and open up through the shoulders. Another exercise you can do with the strap is to take the arms overhead and just kind of come slightly to one side. You're also opening up through the side waist here. You can take the hands slightly backwards maybe. Really feel the stretch into the sideways, but also into the shoulders. You can do this standing. Quite often I do this standing, but in the interest of fitting it into the tiny camera screen, I'm doing it seated, coming back to centre, and then over to the other side. Again, remember you can hold this for as long as you need to, feel comfortable to, taking a few breaths. Okay, and then coming back to centre. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with the strap. Well, actually you might need the strap for the next one. We'll come straight into Gomukhasana actually, which is cow face pose, but I'm just going to look at the arms. So I'm going to take one arm overhead. I'm going to take the hand between the shoulder blades. So again, I'll come this way around so you can see. So you reach one arm up, you're reaching between the shoulder blades. Okay, so that's your first point, and then you're bringing the other arm under. So You bring the other arm round, possibly to meet. Obviously this requires quite a bit of openness in the shoulders, a bit of flexibility in the chest, the upper back. So this is what we're aiming for. You know, you can go even deeper if you're able to, keeping this top arm lifted. If you find you're kind of more in this position, again you can use your strap. So you take the strap over the shoulder, you take hold with one hand, the other hand, so again just wherever your arms will come. You might be able to come a little closer. You might find that you're here to begin with. You might be able to, over time, follow your arms along the strap to get a little bit closer. So from the front view, whether you're using the strap or not, you're opening up through this arm. So again, it's not, whenever we do yoga postures, it's never just working one part of the body. There's always something else that's going to be involved. So here you're stretching through the triceps, the muscles of the back of the arm. You're opening through the chest. Be careful not to kind of stick out through the back, so belly button drawn in, but the chest is open. And just holding for a few breaths, again, whatever you've got time for. Really is quite a strong posture. So just doing whatever you can here, and then obviously once you've done this side, you make sure to do the other side and try to do for an equal amount of time. You might find one side more open than the other. Maybe one side you need the strap, the other side you don't need the strap. Okay. And then releasing down. Another one that is good is eagle pose, but again the arms. So I'm just going to focus on the arms in this particular sequence. So Garudasana, so eagle arms. You're crossing one arm under. So crossing at the elbows, different options. You can take hold of the shoulders. This might be as far as you can go. Possibly take the backs of the hands to touch. Your thumbs facing towards you. Possibly the palms of the hands to touch. So this is where we're heading to. I'll show you sideways on. Okay, again you're really opening into the upper back. You're stretching quite deeply into the shoulders. Flexibility, if you have your arms round, flexibility through the wrist, through the elbow. So really fantastic posture. And again, you can just take a few breaths here. If you feel comfortable too, you're bringing the elbows to shoulder height. If that restricts the breath, because I can feel it restricting, then you just keep it a little bit lower. Remember, you can stop here, and just breathe into the upper back. So again, we're looking at the shoulders, but at the same time, you're stretching into the upper back. Okay, again, hold for a few breaths, whatever you've got time for. Make sure to do exactly the same to the other side. So the other side, you're just crossing the other arm under. So if you had your left or right arm under, you reverse, same thing. Shoulders, back of the hands, palms of the hands, and again, hold for a few breaths. And this will just help to open the upper back, open the shoulders, and a bit of flexibility, wrists and elbows too. Okay, so that's Garudasana arms, eagle arms. And really just one other key, there's loads of postures you can do, but in the interest of brevity, another one, again, quite often you can team this with a standing forward fold, Practised, but as I'm not really sure how it's going to work on camera space, the idea is that you're clasping the hands behind the body and you're opening through the chest. Okay, so if you were standing up, so you could just do this, you could just hold this, for careful not to kind of throw or arch the back, opening into the back and come forward a little bit, opening into the shoulders. If you feel comfortable to, you can fold forwards, head maybe to the floor, maybe to a block if you have one, maybe a cushion, and then you're opening a little deeper into the shoulders. You might find, quite possibly, you're a little bit stuck here, but it doesn't matter. You just, start where you are, and you're working to bring the shoulders over a little bit. No forcing again, just hold for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, coming up, back to seated. Okay, so the last one which we incorporate when we're doing Parsvottanasana is bringing the hands into reverse prayer. Okay, so reverse Namaste. So what we do for this one is, again, easier said than done. There's no expectation to come straight into the posture. Is maybe you're working to bring the hands into reverse prayer position. Okay, you need a bit of flexibility through the wrists. So you might be a little bit lower down. You might just be taking the hands pointing down, maybe, even just clasping. Okay, already we can work it, feel the work happening in the shoulders. So this is your kind of starting position, building a little bit, maybe a lower one, and eventually working your hands between the shoulder blades. So I hope that has helped a little bit. Shoulders are notoriously difficult to open up. From my experience in seeing people, I see that this is definitely the last, the toughest part to kind of open up. Hips and hamstrings tend to open with relative ease. Still takes practice, but shoulders do, if you're not naturally flexible in the shoulders, it really does take practice and dedication. So I hope these postures help a little bit. Okay? I'll come back into my cross-legged. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.